seated in your mountain pose or seated in our Sukhasana pose. You can always put blocks here to help support that if it's just a little bit early time to open up there. And so let's just focus on this nice straight spine. Focusing on that straight spine and focusing on that crown of our head reaching a little bit higher. Oh, the sits bones sinking into chair or blanket or mat. Shoulders sinking away from your ears. Breath filling your entirety. And let's take today's class. Kind of brought this up earlier, but let's take it as if we are at a restaurant and we're ordering food, and let's make sure that our practice today is what we would want to order, okay? And if we don't see it on the menu, let's go ahead and ask, hey, can you make it a certain way or whatever? So ask me if there's something. Ask your body if there's something, and let's just have our own personal practice. I'll throw some ideas out, guiding along, but let's take this as it is for each one of our bodies, okay? But I know each one of us can get into maybe even a straighter, longer spine by using our breath. Hearing our breath adds to that activation. Sensing what's going on in our bodies when we breathe. Where do you feel that expansion? Where do you feel that contraction? A few more calming breaths here. Good. And then let's go ahead and flutter our eyes open, take our hands down and lift arms up. Inhale here. Slowly taking hands to heart space. Exhale, my chin comes to my chest as I look down at those hands at my heart center. I open and express my arms and lift them up again, maybe gazing up. Hands coming back through the center of my heart, and I bring that breath and chin down and rising on up all the time, focused on, can I straighten? Can I lengthen my spine a little bit more? How can my sits bones ground a little bit more? Anything other part of my body that's touching something? How can they press down so I can rise up? Can my arms that are floating upward bring my energy up and lengthen that spine? Can I keep the length even when I take my hands down? And when I exhale, can I still find length in my spine? Because usually then we want to release and let everything compress. Let's do two more, your own pace. Really focused in on long spine. Paying attention to what feels good for our arms right now too. And our shoulders, taking hands back into the center space here. Let's release one hand to one knee, the other hand behind you. Press down, and that's going to show you, oh, I can lengthen even more in my spine. So we press down into the chair behind you or onto the blanket or mat. Lengthen that spine first, then begin looking over shoulder and taking that twist all the way down into whatever layers, okay, that your spine is willing to release. This is never forced. It's always nice, long spine. Press into your hands a little bit more into anything that's grounded. And then let your head release and then release back through that spiraling. Just like a caracol, a conch shell. Big breath here. And release other hand over, press down, lengthen, then go ahead and take that very slow, deliberate look over that back shoulder. Coming back into center. Let your hands come onto your knees. Hold on here. So if you're seated in the chair, hold on to your knees. We're seated here. Hold on to our knees. Let your spine curve back, okay? Take your chin to your chest. Feel that in your release of all the vertebrae there. And then come back up into neutral with that straight spine. Feel it long. And then lift the chin. Look up only to what is right for you, not compressing severely at all into that cervical spine. And now take it with your breath. So we exhale and let ourselves totally release. Forward into cat. Bring ourselves straight and then back up into cow. So Shelley, this is what I was talking about, that cat-cow can be done seated here on the floor, seated in a chair, standing. It doesn't have to always be done on hands and knees. Okay. Cat-cow is one of those things that it's good to come into doing whenever you think about, oh, cat-cow, let me do a few here while I'm seated. Oh, cat-cow, I could do a few here while I'm standing. And we will do a few today standing. Let's do 2 more sets. And anything particular that you want today, Evelyn, or you're needing? I know you like warriors. What else can we offer you today?
Oh, not much.
Yeah, not much. Okay, not much or not too much. Okay. All right, that sounds good.
Like whatever, just,
Yeah,
just total,
total body.
yeah. total
Yeah.
body stretch.
Okay, take your arms behind you, hands behind you, and Shelley, again, right here, waist, hips, okay, interlace, whatever your shoulders will allow, okay? The idea here is chest wants to open, whether we're interlaced and getting the shoulders in it or not, doesn't matter. We want to get into that camel kind of position where we are looking up and our hearts are surrendering upwards. And if hands are interlaced and we're also squeezing into the shoulders, for some of us that's good, some of us it's not. Go ahead and release. Arms come out to the side. Take yourself, notice what hands on top. Give yourself a hug by pulling down your shoulders, okay? Let's leave our hands here. Let your ear come to one side, all right? Exhale. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to the other way. Let yourself go. Pull down those shoulders. Inhale up. One more time each side. Pull down shoulders. Let yourself come over. And are we able to keep that nice long spine here too? When you inhale, you lift, you pull shoulders down. Exhale. Good. Inhale up. Notice what arm is on top. Take yourself wide. Inhale. Take those arms back to the place that feels right for you, squeezing maybe into those shoulders, and then come around. Other arm on top. Give yourself a hug. Pull down, okay? Pull down here. And this time what we're going to do is just lift our chin up. Inhale. And then exhale, curl your elbows into yourself and come into that bitty kind of cat, but your arms are here. Lift up, inhale, pull shoulders back, and come on back. Inhale and exhale. So little cat-cow with a hug, okay? That's what we're doing here. Keep pulling those shoulders down. And one more set here. Bringing ourselves back up, release those arms, let them rise up, inhale, 2 times cactus, pull down. And again, pay attention to what your body says is right for you, exhale. Let's take it on up, hands come down. And then you and I are gonna change out our legs, okay? And Shelley, you're gonna come off the blocks and open up your legs into more of a external rotation. Very good. And are you okay with that without being on the blocks? Do your feet come? Okay.
I don't know. Do
Yeah.
my feet need to be flat?
They don't have to be flat,
Okay.
no, but just having that external rotation like we have here. And now we've switched that out just a bit. All right, so let's go ahead, lift arms up, inhale. Let's take one arm forward and one arm back. Lifting up with the inhale. And again, paying attention to shoulders, Shelley, okay? You may only be coming outward like this, not all the way back, okay? Take it to what feels right for you. Inhale and exhale. So we're getting into that twist and the lengthening of the body in between. Take it with your breath and not worrying about anybody else and what they're doing. We're going to do one more set. Take your arms up. Exhale them down. On the chair behind you, Shelley, both hands come behind you, press down. For us, we're going to press down into our blanket or our mat. Press down, feel your shoulders and heart open here. Both hands, both arms, taking weight, looking up, releasing here, paying attention to what our bodies say is right for us. And then releasing back into straight spine. Shelley, take your blocks. Evelyn, you and I will take our blocks. And go ahead and take your blocks forward. Take your hands on them. Take them at the high place. And let's just walk our bodies out so that our spines are long. Okay. And maybe we can put our head close where our biceps are by our ears or not. But we are lengthening the spine. Yes. And we're dropping our torso in between our externally rotated legs. Only if it feels good to you, you can let that chin come to your chest. Let that 10-pound bowling ball be released. Breathing. Hello. Breathing into what is right for you here. Let that heavy head hang. Yeah, just total letting go. Pull in at your navel. Walk your hands back so that you're back to that straight spine. And then go ahead and release the blocks down. And Shelley, we're going to move onto the mat now, onto our backs. Okay.
Okay.
And we'll keep the blanket there if you want. We're going to come on with our knees bent. Okay. Maybe the blanket there, maybe not. So we'll do a little mat work and then we'll come up to standing. Okay, then we'll come back to seated. I'm going to go ahead and place my knees together. And take your time, Shelley, because we're going to be here for a little while. Knees together, feet are at about max distance. We just had our hips externally rotated. So now with the knees not knee together, feet planted, we're feeling an internal rotation here. And when I lay down, I like to pull the shoulder blades a little bit together that pops my chest open and my heart lifts. I like to take the chin and bring it towards my chest a bit too. And I can feel that real expansiveness of my belly. Because unlike when we were seated either in chair or in our Sukhasana pose on the mat, we were working with our abdominal muscles to keep our back long and straight. We don't have to right now. We can let those abdominal muscles and all the other muscles in the ribs and the back expand with those big breaths. Feel that balloon inflation there. And then releasing that into your exhale. A few more breaths here. Okay, then take your arms out, shoulder height here, or shoulder distance, or from your shoulders. And then let your legs and feet fall over in one direction. So you will feel that in one hip flexor and the other, you're getting internal rotation on one, external rotation on the other. Okay, you're on the inside of one foot and the outside of the other. Everybody with me on that? Yes?
Yes, I'm
Yes.
not sure.
Okay, you got it. Separate your feet though.
Oh,
Yeah. And then bring your knees back up. Take your feet about max distance, Shelley. It doesn't have to go that far. Yeah. Take your knees together. Yep. And then let's go ahead and go to the other side. But first, Shelley, we're gonna get you so that you are straight on the, okay, and then bring your knees back up so they're connected there. Let's take yourself and regroup a bit, Shelley.
okay.
So you're this way on the mat. Let's put yourself a little straighter on the mat. Bring this, like, your body over more. Which part? This time over. Yes, scooching over and keep the knees together. And how is it to separate your foot out here a little bit more? Anyone know? No? Okay, that's good. How's that feel? Fine. Okay, so now we're just going to let these knees go to one side gently. Okay, your arms come out, get your shoulders to support. Yeah. And then you bring them up. Inhale. They come together, knock knee. And then exhale, come to the other side. So now you are on this and this. Got it? Feeling
Okay.
it? Yes. Okay. Keep going. Inhale, knees come together. Exhale, they come over. Yes. Good. Breath. And that's just so nice for the hips because they do so much for us. Just make sure when you come back in the middle, you meet your knees and you come into neutral. Okay. So we're not rushing to let those knees come over to one side. And we are using our core, okay? Because when we come over, if you do it slower, you're using your core more. If you just drop, you're not using it much. But to bring them back up and together, you're definitely using your obliques, okay? Let's just do 2 more each side, okay? Using that breath, good. Elongation on that inhale. So spend that time together in the center, really feeling your spine connected before you go ahead and let them fall over to the side. Good. And then take your feet about hips distance, okay? Knees are still bent. Take your hands so that the fingers are pointing towards your heels now. So slide them on down. Yes, you're going to be pressing into those arms, okay? And you're going to press into your feet. Your knees are separated now about hips distance. So separating the knees, separating the feet, hips distance. And we're going to press into our hands, press into our feet, our arms, our shoulders, not our neck. And we're going to just lift the hips up just a bit. Okay, doesn't have to be very high right now. And then take the hips down. Okay, guiding principle here, no weight in your neck. Bring your hips up, pressing into feet, arms, and shoulders. And exhale down. As you get more comfortable, you continue to lift the hips, maybe a little higher, okay? They will only go so far, so you can't force them to go any more than like a slide between your knees and your abdominal area. But we're doing this called bridge pose for our breath, for our spine, for our shoulder and arm strength, to keep the chin tucked, okay? I remember when I first started doing this, I don't remember people really telling me, keep that chin tucked. And I was putting too much pressure on my neck. You should be able to lift your head up slightly, knowing that you have no weight there at all, okay? On the skull or the neck. Let's do a few more, you guys. Just inhaling. I love your pants there, Evelyn. Yeah, pressing into arms, hands, feet, shoulders, not into neck. Good. Working with the pelvic girdle here, working with your core. Let's do 2 more. That's so good, you guys. Good. Now let's take those arms back where they were, out from your shoulders. Move your left foot in more to the center. Cross that right leg over your left as if you were just crossing your legs, seated in a chair there. Have your spine nicely aligned on your mat. Okay, then we're going to let those legs come over slowly to the left as you look to the right, right? Finding the twist that's available to you. You'll go as far as your body will allow without forcing. Use your core, pick up those legs, bring yourself back into center. Exhale yourself down the other way. Feel that, getting into the upper hip, into your glute stretch there. Inhale back onto a flat foot, flat back, okay? Exhale, come on over the other way. And I am using this as an opportunity to get into my cervical spine too. So I come back into neutral, everything's in alignment. Then I let my neck go in one direction and my legs go in the other. Right? Keep going. I'm just gonna check and see. And we take advantage of that inhale in the neutral position, okay, and really let that happen. And then you'll notice one side of the body seems to kind of release more than the other. That is what will happen anatomically, okay, because of the way we have our legs crossed. But we're going to do 2 more this way, and then we're going to switch it out so that we can get into the other. And I remember Evelyn usually asks for hips too, so this will be good for you, that full body, but we got to use the hips because that's right in the center of our body. And then go ahead, flip out those legs into the opposite cross. So I've got my right foot more centered and my left leg is over my right. I've got my arms still out and I'm going to let them drift to one side as I gaze over the other. Lift them up on an inhale with core engagement. Let them come over and I look to the other side. Bring myself up. Keep going with your breath pace. Let's do 2 more each side. Finding this meditative flow, not cheating our exhale nor our inhale. Trying to get them in alignment with equality. bringing the legs back up and then releasing that top leg off. And let's bring it, our right foot off the ground, interlace underneath your thigh or underneath the right knee. And just bring that in and let it come into your abdominal cavity or wherever it comes to. Just feel that kind of release there into the thigh bone. Because we've had it going left and right, now we're bringing that in a little bit. Use some muscular strength in your arms. And then we'll release that leg, lengthen it out all the way up. We haven't had much lengthening of our legs at all yet. So my right leg now, I don't know whichever leg you guys have, but right leg or left, straight up. I'm gonna point through my toes and then I'm gonna flex that foot, feel that in the calf. Point and through the ball of my foot or my toes and then flex through my calf. The reason sometimes it's good to go to the ball instead of a point is that you'll have less chance that you might cramp with the pointed toes, okay? Something about pointing that might cause that. Good, and now let's take ankle rotations. Just feel that, round and round. Find rotation, 360 degrees, and around and the other. Good. And then this leg we're going to keep working with. Take the ankle right behind the left knee, okay, towards on the thigh knee part there. So you're in a figure four. Figure four position here. Yeah, good. And your arms can still stay out, or you can support that lower spine like you are, Shelley. That's good by having your hands underneath your hips there. So either one. So now we're going to lift that left foot off the ground. Okay, so you lift it, try to make it parallel. It doesn't have to be parallel. We're coming into a reclined pigeon pose. And so from here, you can take yourself just like that, or you can take your hands underneath that thigh or on your knee, and you can start to pull those knees in. Yeah, good. So here, only if it feels like you can or want, you lift this up. Having the foot down may be enough for you, Shelley, because what we're getting in is right here. So this is one that has like 5 steps to it.
Okay.
So if you're good with that, and then the next step would be, if you want, you flex your foot to get a little more. And then only if you want more, some people do, some people don't, we take our hands and we come here or over here and we give a little pull in. But that's only if you want, because you should be feeling it right out there, right? But only if you want. Okay, so this is reclined pigeon or a reclined figure four position here. And I'm feeling on my outside part of my hip there, the joy of pigeon. This is a lot easier on knees than doing a frontward pigeon. And I feel like I can get a little more out of it too. And then only if you want, the next thing if you want to do is to lift your head off the ground and kind of curl, tuck and round into yourself to get a little bit into the core area, not necessary, just another add-on, just another thing in the menu is to do that, okay? And then we put ourselves all the way down, let your arms down, let your foot, both feet down, right? And then we're going to do the same series on the other side. So lift your left foot off the ground. And I think that's the other, unless it was a different one. And then interlace your fingers and bring that thigh in close to your chest. Yep, good. Your foot can be flexed or not. Find what's right for you. Good. And how interesting, because my one thigh is like touching my chest, the other wouldn't even get close to it. So that's good feedback from my body, just to let me know, non-judgmentally, go ahead and let your leg lengthen, okay? But just, all right, so I've got to pay attention to what's going on with that side of my body. Let's do some pointing with the ball of your foot and then flex, calf, feel that in your calf, point and flex and pop if it pops. Let that happen too. All that stagnant energy is letting itself go. Good. And then circles with your ankle. Feel that in your shin. So all that walking that you two do, I know you're both walkers. This is a good thing to do before and after your walks, just so that we keep the shin splints from happening, and then reverse, going around in the opposite way and getting your ankles so that they're ready to do that nice, graceful walking. And then go ahead and bend into that figure 4. So you take your ankle right behind the knee or towards the top portion of the, I guess, lower portion of your thigh where they both meet. Flex into that foot, start to feel that already, only if you want, and your hands can be out shoulder distance, picking up that right foot now off the ground and keeping it flexed or pointed. Just active will add to it, but you don't have to. You can relax it and it can relax both, and that's not going to give as much sensation there. So it depends what you want. And then if you want more, you take your hands and you interlace behind your right thigh or under your right knee, and you bring that leg in a little bit more, only if you want. These are all add-ons, you guys. You might just want a plain burrito, okay? This is like, I want to add on this and that and that and that. You might not want to today, okay? Think of it as a menu of what you want on your food. You want to be really simple and clean in your food, and you don't want to add on so much. Maybe you want more, take it as you want it, okay? And then only if you want, you add on that lifting of the head and the upper shoulders off the ground, and you're curling into your core strength here, or you're staying with shoulders and head down. Yeah. And then we come on back down. Good. Let both legs down and windshield wiper, just releasing back and forth here. Our legs aren't crossed right now. We're just letting them go left and right and left and right and left and right. Good. And then let them come over to one side. Let your body follow it and come into a fetal position here. To one side of your body, because we're going to work our way up. And then begin to press into the earth. Find yourself forward, looking forward on the mat. We're going to take the blocks and have those available today. And we're going to find ourselves in a standing position. So however that works, using chair, using the blocks, using our core strengths. They say getting up and down from the ground is one of the, uses all the muscles in our body. Okay, so it's not a task for, to take for granted. So, all right, so let's stand more towards the front. We're going to be using these blocks today. Okay, so kind of get those situated. And let's stand in mountain. So finding our feet in a parallel position, hands down and open, shoulders down, crown reaching up. Letting the eyes close as we let our total expansiveness and that diaphragmatic breath occur right now. And a slight bend into the knees, come around and lift up, inhale. Exhale, take yourself into your bent knees, hands on your thighs, and then take a hold of those blocks. And let's press into a half lift here. So our backs are straight, our legs are somewhat straight. If you need to bend, please do. And our arms are straight. And then we're going to bend into our knees, release our head. Maybe a little bit lower than our heart. And then we look up, lift up, back into half lift, okay? So this is the inhale, bend, and this is the exhale. We're pressing into blocks. Come on up, inhale. Straight leg, straight arm, straight back, and exhale, bent elbows, bent spine, bent legs. Keep going, you guys. Inhale as you lift up. Crown reaches forward, good. Exhale into that curling and tucking and bowing down. So we're going again, kind of into that straight spine, everything straight, and then everything releases. Using those long breaths, really let that tailbone extend back and your crown forward when you come into that half lift. The crown comes down, the tailbone lifts up when you come into that forward fold. 2 more. And then bring yourself up into half lift, bend into your knees, hands to thighs, bring yourself up. Good. And now let's open up into a 5-pointed star. So go ahead and look, yeah, this way, Evelyn, would be good to start with. And Shelley, yeah. Glad you faced me. And
Okay.
Shelley, the best way for you to be able to see me, do you want me, we could turn the mat that way. That would help.
Okay.
Yeah. Here, let me just turn this one. Just come over here, Shell. There we go. All right, so we're going to open up into this 5-pointed star here, okay? Lift your arms up in. Exhale, let's just take it down, a slight bend in the knees. And bring it on up. Exhale, slight bend in the knees. Cross and send them up. 2 more, slight. Try to cross the opposite one each time, so we just break little habits. Good, and then standing with straight legs, arms out at shoulder height. This leg, send it back, doesn't matter which one, just turn the toes towards your short edge of your mat, good. And we are in, and I'm going to get blocks for you guys. In case you want to use them, because I'm using blocks a lot now. Okay, so we're going to work ourselves into triangle pose. Okay, so I've got my feet apart to the distance that feels like I'm very stable here. All right, my arms are out. The arm that's over the leg that's turned out, I'm going to pull over in that direction. Right, so I'm pulling over in that direction, and then I'm going to let my hand come to my thigh, my shin, or the block, not my knee, okay? And the other arm comes to your waist, and you just look up. And then you look down, exhale, look up, and look down, exhale. And now bend into that front knee so that you're looking at it, right? And that knee is right on top of your ankle. And I'm using that block, or I got my hand connected to my own anatomy, or I have my arm, this is another one, bent with the forearm on the side, right? And the other arm can stay again at your hip, come around, or send those fingers shooting upward. Okay, and here we are in extended side angle with a bent knee. And that top arm, you can go ahead and make some circles. If you're dealing with shoulder stuff, make those circles really small, like you're doing a dog paddle rather than a big old swim, okay? So find that opening in your shoulders to where it is right for you, and then reverse that a few times. And then send that arm out over, bicep by your ear, stretch that side body. And then take your hand back to your waist, take yourself up, extend the arms out, and we are in warrior two now. So your arms are coming out from the shoulder, front knee is bent right above that ankle, and then we're going to straighten that front leg, lift your arms up or out, but somewhere over your head or not, and then bend into your knee and come back into warrior two arms, okay? And then come on up. This is a dance we're going to do from our straight leg into our bend. And we do it with our breath, exactly. Inhale and exhale. You can also come into just cactus arms, all right? If that is a lot on your shoulder, okay? But here again, what are we, main thing, movement and breath. If our movements are modified, we're still moving with breath, okay? You can keep your arms as contracted and strong as you want, or you can take them really soft. Let's do two more. And end in warrior two. Good. Let's add on another thing here. Lengthen that front leg. Take the back hand down that back leg or around your waist. Bring that front arm up and over, and we are in reverse warrior two here. Okay, and let's just take this for a couple breaths, making sure we're stable on our feet. Still breathing even though we're holding the pose. And then come on back to that bent knee, warrior two. Let's dance and breathe with that. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Straight leg, straight arm. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale. Take it into exhale. We'll do two more here. Find yourself with straight legs. Take your toes all facing the same way again. And find those blocks. Put them out in front of you. Doing something similar to what we just did earlier. Everybody has a straight spine, straight legs. Okay. And so we're in a wide-legged half lift right now. And now I'm going to move my blocks forward. I'm going to let my spine be long. I'm going to let the back of my legs be long. Maybe my biceps and ears come in contact with one another or close by. I feel this opening into my armpit, into my lymph nodes there. And then walking back to blocks underneath my shoulders. And now take your toes out, heels in, bend down, exhale, inhale, lengthen legs. Exhale, bend into a little squat. Only go to where your legs want to go. Inhale, lift. Two more. And then inhale, legs are long. Take your hands to your thighs, walk yourself up into five-pointed star. Feet are forward now. Take a couple breaths here. And then now we're turning the other leg, other foot out, opening up a little externally rotated foot there. Yeah, we're gonna keep it straight. Gonna have that block, because I used a block if you did. If not, you've got your anatomy to use. Don't want you just to like hang there though, okay? I want you to have some supported system. Arms are here. I'm gonna stretch forward, 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 and let myself come down, maybe to shin, thigh, or block. My other arm rises up, or I keep it at my hip or at my waist. And it doesn't matter because I'm getting this length in that front leg. I'm opening up through my shoulders and chest, whether my arm is lifted or not. Okay. And if you want, you can take those little doggy paddles forward, or you can take some big swimming strokes forward. What does your shoulder say yes to? What is it hungry for? And let's take it around the other way. And then let's take that arm back to waist and bend into that front knee. Find knee and ankle alignment. Find yourself coming up onto your thigh maybe, and then let your arms expand into warrior two. And then bringing myself over, I'm going to come here, forearm on thigh or onto the block, and find myself lifting arm up, or again, here at waist or hips, or maybe taking it over. So I've gone from the triangle pose into this extended side angle. And we find length in that side body, strength in my legs. And then hand on waist, bringing myself up, finding my arms extended, warrior two. Lengthen that front leg, lengthen up, inhale. Exhale. Let it keep going, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Always when we're doing any of the warrior twos, if we're dancing with it or we're holding it or we're changing from one side to the other, we want to make sure we don't go that knee past the ankle. That puts a lot of stress on the knee. So that might mean you just back off on that depth, or you lengthen your legs out a little bit more. You will find that to be more comfortable as time goes on. Right, Evelyn, how many years you've been doing yoga now?
3 or 4.
Really, that's all?
Yeah.
I thought you've been doing it longer than
No, I
that.
think it was 2000, well, yeah, probably 4 years,
You've been doing it with
2017,
Me that long almost, and then you've been doing it with the other woman for
at
a
the
long
same
time.
time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought you were been doing it forever.
No. 4
What got
years.
you started in it?
No,
Exhale.
no. After Don passed, I
Oh, good for you. And then we'll stay here. Great. Now we're going to, this is my exhale. Inhale, leg comes up, arm comes over, and let's hold this in reverse for a moment. And your hand can come down that back leg, or it can go around. Find what feels right for you. We're really lengthening legs and side body here. And then we take it with arms out, bend into the knee, exhale. And let's take that with a flow. So we inhale, reverse. Take that exhale, warrior two. And again, always protecting that knee, not letting it bypass that ankle. So sometimes we just have to take a look down. Or again, after you know what that feels like, you're gonna wanna separate maybe a little bit more. And every day our bodies change. We don't have to say, yeah, well, last year my body did this. Could be yesterday, my body did this, or this morning, you know? So let's do 2 more. And shoulder stuff, Shelley, you could do something like this. So we're here, you could do this. And just do a little bit of rocking back and forth in a cactus arms, okay? Or you can take it here and just be lengthening this and then lengthening the side body, okay? And then come to warrior 2 and then straighten your leg, toes come forward and bring your legs in just a little bit more, still wider than hips distance, okay? And then take those toes out, heels in, come into a little squat. We're not squatted as much because our legs aren't as far apart. Let's take one shoulder forward, the other one back. Take a look into a baby twist here. Baby twist. Take yourself forward. And baby twist on the other side. Yeah. Good. Coming on back. And take our feet forward, bring them in a little bit more. I'm going to show you, we're going to do standing cat-cow now. My knees are bent, hands are on my thighs. Let my belly drop, my tailbone comes up. Gets really accentuated when we do it in the standing. And our chest comes forward and we only gaze up to where it's right for our neck. And then we curl and tug and round, take that tailbone and round it in like a scared dog, scared cat. I don't know, cats do this when they're scared. No, dogs do.
And now lifting.
I'm gonna try to remember to bring you some more catnip next week, Evelyn. I've got so much growing right now. You have it growing at your house?
I used to, but I think my yard cleanup people weeded it out.
Oh, no. I'll bring you some for your cats. One more set here. Last night I went to meet with a woman who I'm gonna do her ceremony for her wedding and then just roll up slowly. And her cat, it was a great cat, but he said, oh, that cat must really like you. It never comes out. And now it's showing off and it wants to be right next to you and all of that. And I said, wow, that's interesting because I have dogs and not cats, but okay, we'll turn forward here. And let's just take and sway our hips, going in some circles maybe. Just wind on down. We just did a lot of leg work. I don't know about you guys, but my legs are kind of feeling warm from all of that. Did a lot of hip today. Started out with a lot of arm and shoulder and neck. Reversing my circles here. Didn't get to much balancing, so next week we're going to work on some balancing, okay? Using chair, using the wall. And then bringing our feet back in so that we're underneath our hips. Find that straight spine we started class with, but when we started we were seated and now we're standing and we can feel that energy, that prana flowing throughout our bodies, into the fingertips, into the toes, to the end of our nose and the tips of our ears. Fluidly moving energy from our feet to the crown of our head, back and forth. Heart feels open. The lungs feel like we've used part of them that we don't generally use. And then a slight bend in the knees and take your arms up, inhale. Exhale, take hands into heart center. And we're gonna do one little flowing Om here. So it's a big inhale, and we're gonna release with that Om. Inhale. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Namaste. Namaste, you guys. Thank